As we've observed, western states are receiving much welcome rainfall and snowpack. Indeed, some of the side effects are flooding and many mudslides that are affecting communities and transportation corridors. So this is on the heels of short rainfall years for at least the last 3 years. This year, rainfall numbers are good. They're are about a pace where they're at their historical average or a little above in some areas. This is historical average, long term, over non-drought years. So the last 3 years have seen dire water supplies for many people and allocations for farmers. In 2019, though, our lakes in California were basically full. Now, you may recall in 2017 that in my district, Lake Oroville had the spillway collapse due to lack of maintenance and checking its integrity over the years. But it was plumb full, 101% full in 2017. Now, our water projects in California were designed with the idea that they would withstand 5 years of drought. Lake Oroville being full as recently as 2019, and Lake Shasta nearly full as well. So how is it that our state water project and our Central Valley project run by the Bureau of Reclamation, being at these high levels, that Lake Oroville, for example, in 2021, only 2 years after being full, was basically so low on water that for the first time in the history of that lake, it did not make hydroelectric power because the water levels were so low. And Lake Shasta, in 2022, an unprecedented cut in water supply, including to its neighbor right there in Shasta County, Anderson-Cottonwood Irrigation District. They received zero allocation because they couldn't deliver enough water to make it worth their while. In over 100 years of the existence of that district, this was the first time they did not get to irrigate. These two dams designed to withstand 5 years of drought, being full as recently in 2019, one running out in 2021, the other basically being useless almost to agriculture in 2022, with the drastic cuts all up and down the Sacramento River stem. What's going on here? What is the State Water Project doing on the Feather River side, et cetera? What is the Federal Bureau of Reclamation and CVP doing on the Sacramento River side that has changed? They're not doing everything they can to hold water, even in drought years, that they could be holding. Why? It's a mystery. We have the opportunity right now with these high flows. We have areas of California right in the Sacramento Valley that are being flooded out. And they're running the pumps that are at the Delta, just at the south end of the Delta, at about 18% on the state side and about 67%, not so bad, on the federal level, instead of taking full advantage of running those pumps as hard as they can, taking this excess water, relieving some of the flood, and putting it into a reservoir that will help our whole state withstand possible drought in the future. Is this a drought year? No, not as defined by lack of rainfall, as indeed we're at average or we're above average in some areas. And with the projection in January for a lot more rain coming, we might have a full normal water year or above. That would be good. But our leaders in government, in the agencies, don't seem to feel the same urgency. At the same time they're talking we have flood emergencies, they're still maintaining we have drought emergencies. Not with this kind of rainfall. Yes, we have low lake problems, but that isn't how you define a drought. That's how you define lake management. That's how you define water management. And it's not happening. We need to be running at least those two sets of pumps at 99%, 100% at the Delta, and filling up San Luis Reservoir, and allocating water to those recharge basins so the subsidence we're having in the San Joaquin Valley that everybody's worried about wouldn't be happening. Nope, they want to just keep chugging along the way they're doing, especially on the state side. This is a disservice to all water users in California, and at the same time, they don't really see a whole lot of need to cut back on environmental water that is very dubious in nature, actually, if it's helping fish in the Delta or anywhere else. Indeed, they need a change of attitude at all these levels of water management. These agencies don't seem to be on the side of growing food. I always bring this poster along here so people can understand how much of their food is grown in California and with the high percentage of these crops that only come from California that Americans consume. If it's not grown in California, either you're not going to have it or you're going to have to import it from somewhere else. Look at this. All the, walnuts. Walnuts are having a devil of a time right now in their market. And tomatoes. If you want tomato paste for your pizza and your pasta, where's it going to come from? We have to import all this stuff. We need to have a much stronger, much smarter water policy, and that starts right in California, and it benefits the whole country. I go back.
Gentleman's time has expired. If no other members seek recognition, pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the Chair declares the House in recess until noon today.